Today on Quick Tips at the Drum Shop, we're going to talk about why your snare drum might sound like Yes, I said like I want to preface today's quick tip at the drum shop with a little bit of history. On average, I get 1, 2, 3 phone calls a week with people saying, my snare drum doesn't sound right. It has a weird boing note. My snare drum sounds funny. Or we get questions like, why doesn't my snare drum sound the way I like? What's with the extra buzz? Well, all of these things are subjective, but they are very real problems. And today, we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why your snare drum may sound like or, more politely, may not sound the way you want. Some of the reasons we're going to talk about in today's quick tip about why your snare drum may sound like or may not sound the way you want are going to be relatively subjective. However, they are backed by years and tuning hundreds upon hundreds of snare drums over the years in drum retail. I may not have all the answers, but I might be able to give you a little bit of legitimate insight as to why your snare may not be accomplishing what it needs to. So, let's get to it. Reason number 5 why your snare drum may not sound the way you want. Too much damping material on the top of your drum. Yes, it is a subjective thing. Duct tape, moon gel, Promark gel, this gel, bubble gum, sticky pads, all of these different things help affect the way the snare drum head moves. But sometimes too much is too much, so stop with the insanity. Choose the right drum for the job, or more importantly, choose the right drum head for the job, and you'll get rid of all that unsightly tape. And let's be honest, some of it looks pretty bad. Oh yeah, it gets worse. So again, if you're trying to achieve a certain sound, think more about what type of drum you're using, the type of head you're using, and the way it's tuned. Yes, adding a cheesecloth or a wallet or something simple may accomplish the end goal, but keep it to a minimum. Let the drum sing, let it come to life, let it do what it's supposed to do. I promise you'll be much happier with that drum. Reason number 4 why your snare drum may not sound the way you want, simply put, you got the wrong snare drum for the wrong job. A metal snare drum will never sound like a wood snare drum. It's impossible. 2 different materials. Let's call it for what it is. Stop trying to put a square peg into a round hole. If you want the sound of a piccolo or a popcorn or some other snare, buy the appropriate snare. If you're trying to get a 14x8 or some big meaty snare drum to sound like a tiny little drum, it's not gonna happen. So let's just stop. Let's just think of what we're trying to do and let's find the appropriate drum. In our drum community, I promise, if you don't have the drum, somebody in this city has one that they would let you use for a recording. I would suggest you take care of it. I would suggest you treat it with the utmost respect and replace the drum head after you've abused it, because it does happen from time to time. But let's find the right drum for the right job. A 6.5-inch deep snare drum is not going to sound like a 3-inch snare. There's simply too much volume. So let's stop with this practice. I promise you will get more life out of your drum, you will gain a much better appreciation for your drum, and your recordings will sound better. Your live shows will sound better. Your sound guy will hate you less. Just get the right drum for the right job. This quick tip is brought to you by Old School Bagel. If you haven't had them, you should. Why? Because they're real and they're freaking spectacular. Well, it's Quentin from Old School Bagel.
Hello. Hi, Roger.
I am not prepared for more bad luck.
It's me, not you.
It's right, you're shooting at me.
I don't believe in that stuff. So
Okay, well,
it's
there
not
you
going to happen.
Why we're doing this? Well, it's another kind of a way to support those that support us. And
Keep it local.
yeah, yes.
Keep it local.
Super local. Don't go to the other bagel shop that's in town that's proliferating like herpes.
What? There's another bagel shop in town?
I mean, there is. They've got buildings, but there's not. I mean, there's, you know.
It's the first I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's not pretty. That microwave hot plate McDonald's style thing.
Ooh,
Not a
McDonald's. If you want to just throw your money down the toilet and flush it and watch it go away, you should just do that instead of eating at McDonald's.
I mean, you know. So not only do you get the best bagels, pretty much, I'm going to say in the state of Oklahoma. Yeah.
Hands down, yeah.
Hands down, hands down. Best bagels, fresh made cookies every morning at some god awful hour. You guys get there, what, 3?
Oh, I still have bags in my eyes. 4 a.m.
No.
My baker gets there at 11:30 at night and stays till 8. So, yeah. Time to make the bagels.
Well, I don't really have much to say except Old School Bagel. There are 2 locations. One is on Brookside on Peoria. It's literally right in the middle of Brookside. You can't miss it. It's got its own parking lot, and you can even get in line and drive through it, so you don't have to get out of your car.
Next to Channel 2 News.
Next to Channel, yeah, that's right, right next door.
Right across the street from the AT&T and Trader Joe's.
Oh, the new Trader Joe's. We can't plug them yet.
Why is not?
We haven't talked to them.
Oh.
But they got good food. They do they have really good food at Trader Joe's.
They do. They do. Pizza dough there is phenomenal.
Really?
And
What?
yeah.
They have pizza dough?
Oh yeah.
At
You
Trader
go-
Joe's?
Yes. It's pre-made. It's in a little pouch. We should have pizza night. Pizza night. Pizza night at Roger's house. He's buying.
All right, there you go. Anyway, there's 2 locations. One's on Brookside, the other's on South Yale, just at the bottom of the little hill right below 71st.
Next to
and,
Mahogany's.
Next door to Mahogany. And it's freestanding. It also has a drive-through, so you don't have to get out of your warm car in these hot days. What's the weather like today?
Brisk.
Brisk weather, not
Brisk.
fun. So yeah, you can stay in your car and get some bagels and yeah, keep asking for the candied bacon breakfast sandwich that I still have not tried. He laughs, I'm still wanting it. So
And it's we do specialties. And Roger missed the boat on that one.
oh, see? Go try some bagels from Old School Bagel. Have a great day.
Cheers.
Reason number 3 why your snare drum may sound like or may not sound the way you want. Simply put, your snare batter head is poorly tuned. I said it, you may not actually know how to tune your snare drum. Now you're probably already ready to flame me on the keyboard and go, well, I know how to tune drums, I've been tuning drums for 20 years. That may be the case, and you may be really good at it, but there are always ways to get better. Simple things to remember in tuning. Equal tension across the entire snare drum. All 8 or 10 lugs should be uniform. They should have a consistent pitch. Yes, you can use a tune bot, you can use a drum dial, you can use your finger, but at the end of the day, work on getting the best note out of that drum head. I will caution you, some drum heads don't like some drums. It's just a fact. Some Evans heads worked great on some snare drums, Remo drum heads work better on others, and Aquarian work better on other drums still. So take the time, look at the bearing edge, look at the type of drum head you're buying, and get the right tool for the right job. You will be much happier. Your drum will tune up faster and it will sound more of what you're going for. Reason number 2, while your snare drum may not sound the way you want, your snare side head is badly tuned. Yep, just like reason number 3, your snare side head tuning is extraordinarily important as to the way that drum sounds. I've learned a couple tricks of the trade that might make tuning your snare side head a little bit easier. One thing that I preach on a constant basis, the 4 tension rods that are parallel and surround the snare wires, detune them 1/4 to a half a turn from the tension rods that are perpendicular to the snare wires. Why? It allows the head to soften up a little bit and the butt plates will sit better and let the snare wires rest on that head much nicer. Snare beds are not consistent and they're not the same across every single drum. Some are wide, some are shallow, some are super deep, some are very narrow. It's all based on the way that drum reacts. So take a minute, look at the bearing edge on the snare side of your drum. Look at the snare beds, look at how that head is moving. Do a little bit of research about your tools. I promise you, you will see better results. And last but not least, the number 1 reason why your snare may sound like and not sound the way you want, your snare wires are simply too tight. Yeah, it's that simple. On a regular basis, I get a phone call, my snare drum is making a strange boing note. That is because the snare wires are too tight and causing the snare head to bubble up and deform around them. Take a minute. Remember the last time you changed your snare wires and you looked at them and you wondered why they were kind of hourglass shaped? That's from the deformation of the snare side head causing the bubble and eventually bowing in the wires. Simply detune the snare throw off, loosen the snare wires a little bit, and I promise you that boing note will go away instantly. It will. That's it for the 5 reasons why your snare drum might sound like or at the very least may not sound the way you want exactly. If you'd be so kind, hit the subscribe button or wherever it is, or there, I don't know where it is in this crazy thing, but hit the subscribe button. We're gonna be doing more videos. We're gonna do more weekly tips. We're probably gonna do more coffee talk stuff, and who knows what else we're gonna create. So thanks for your time. Have a great day, and that's your quick tip from the drum shop. Bye for now.